Next, we're going to look at assets and something about historical cost principle. So when we actually buy assets, we put them in our books at what we actually pay for them. However, as time goes on, I need to make adjustments to what the values of it, because typically they will depreciate over time, and I need to make adjustments. So one of the first things we need to look at is called useful life. Every asset you purchase has what we call a useful life. It's basically the length of time in years or months on how long you'll be able to use it to produce more revenue. And so what's going to happen is we're going to come up with something called depreciation expense. This is an adjusting entry that will reduce the cost of our actual asset over a period of time. Well, we need to know a few things. We need to know what the useful life is, and we also need to know what salvage value is, or residual value. And this value is, so if I buy a piece of equipment and my useful life is 5 years, the scrap or salvage value is what is it worth at the end of the 5 years, because we need to put that in the picture. So there's a couple different types of depreciation, and we're just going to learn basic right now. With straight line, it is the easiest to do. So I buy a motor scooter with an estimated useful life of 3 years. It has no salvage value and originally cost me $3,600. Every year that I actually use it, or every month that I use it, it will depreciate in value to the point where it won't be worth $3,600. So I have to adjust my books. Again, because I have this thing, it will decline over the next 3 years. So here is the formula for straight line depreciation. Original cost minus the salvage value equals depreciable cost. So let's plug in our numbers. So there we are. Since no salvage value, so $3,600, and now we're going to take our depreciable cost and divide by useful life. Typically, it's done in years, but we can also do it in months. So it just depends. We're going to compute for 1 month, but we're going to use years. Actually, I'm sorry, we're going to use months. So here's my formula, and here's my depreciation. So what I'm telling you is that every month, I'm going to depreciate it by $100 per month. So this is going to be an adjusting entry. And here's how the adjusting entry happens. So here's my delivery equipment. This is an asset account. Once I pay for this equipment, I never touch this $3,600 again. This account stays at $3,600, but I'm going to introduce a new account called accumulated depreciation delivery equipment. So this is called a Contra Asset account, by the way. And it's attached to the delivery equipment. It's called accumulated depreciation delivery equipment. Wherever I see this, this one will be with it, and I will be subtracting. Okay? So really it's this minus this, and that's called the book value. Okay? The book value is the cost of the asset minus the depreciation. This is also called a Contra Asset account. Okay, it normally has a credit balance. It's always the opposite of the asset. And when I finish with this journal entry, here's what it looks like. So my delivery equipment was when I purchased it. I will credit accumulated depreciation, and I'll debit depreciation expense. This is my adjusting entry. Now my book value is this minus this, or $3,500. Next month, it'll be the same journal entry, and then it will be $3,400 because this will be $200 after next month. So here's what it looks like. Here's the actual, okay, these are the two we already seen. So here is my actual, we've seen this one already too. Okay, so this is the actual journal entry right here. And so this is the journal entry, and here's me posting it to the ledgers. So this concludes our adjusting entries. So if you notice, let's go back. The first one was supplies. The second one was prepaids. the third one was wages, and the fourth one is depreciation. So there are only 4 journal entries. They are always actually going to be the same, it's just different numbers. This concludes my journal entries, my adjusting journal entries on this video. We'll talk about worksheet on the next video.